Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Code to Be a Java Programmer. Today is day 40 of our coding journey. In today's session, we'll be discussing anonymous objects in Java. Anonymous objects are useful in situations where you need to use an object only once. Let's get started. Okay, so let's have a look at anonymous objects. Now, what is anonymous objects? So, in order to understand this, let's create a class. So, I have already created a class named demo, and inside that, I have a method created with the name of show where it prints I'm inside this method. Okay, how will we call this method? Usually, we'll be creating an object for the class and followed by with the help of the object we'll be calling the method. Okay, so this is the usual way of doing it. And what happens at the back? So this is the heap memory and this is the stack memory. So obj is the reference variable. So how will we get stored is it will be get stored here inside the stack memory obj, and the object which is being created will be here like a box with some address in it. Let's say 101, and this address will be connected here with the reference variable object with 101, and inside this object we'll be having the method show. Okay, so these are usually known as referenced variables because we have something, a reference variable to carry it. So in order to let understand this, let me also create a constructor. How this constructor should be, it doesn't have any return types, with the constructor name will be same as that of the class name. Okay, so this is the constructor. Let this print uh, constructor. Okay, so each and every time when we create an object, the constructor will be called, right? And only after the constructor is called, the method will be using the object will be created. So during the object creation, two things happens: object will be created and the constructor will be called, and then only the method whatever we are creating happens. Let's see. Let's see now. Yes, constructor, and then I'm inside this method. Okay, so whenever this happens, the constructor will be called, and only then it happens, and the whole object created will be here reference to this. Okay, so now this is known as a referenced object. Now let's say I want to declare something as marks, and after declaring marks, what I'm doing is the variable marks, and I'm assigning value to that variable. Here I have a int marks. I have created a variable. It should be here inside this. So I have created a variable. This is actually a local variable, and after creating a variable, I'm assigning value to it. Okay, so is there any in it? No, no errors. And similarly, what we are doing here is we are creating the variable, that is the reference variable, and then again we are calling the constructor where the object creation will be instantiated. Okay, so this is the same way of understanding. Of course, what happens if I don't use this part? What happens if I don't use this part? At the back end, only the empty constructor will be created with an address in it, but unfortunately this time it doesn't get mapped to any one of these stack reference variable because it doesn't have a variable connected to it. So this is basically known as anonymous object, and with this object of course we can call the method. The problem here is this can be used only once, of course. If we have a reference variable mapped to it, of course with that particular variable we can use it anywhere. But since it doesn't have any variable mapped to it, it's anonymous, and this is known as anonymous object. You can use it only once. What happens if I copy paste it once again? Let me see what happens. The constructor is being called twice, which means two different objects are being created inside this. Yes, of course, this is known as anonymous objects, where it doesn't have any reference variable mapped to it in the stack array, whereas the ones which has reference variables during its object creation is known as the reference object. I hope you have understand the difference between the referenced object and the anonymous objects. Thank you. Anonymous object is an object that is instantiated but not assigned to a variable. Anonymous objects are a handy feature in Java for situations where you need to use an object only once. They help keep your code clean and memory efficient. Thank you for joining me on day 40 of Let's Go to Be a Java Programmer. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified about our daily coding sessions. See you tomorrow for day 41. Happy coding!